Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you for joining me for this week's Principal's Office. I am Jamal Maxim. I'm an igniter of champion leaders. I help those aspiring leaders and those new leaders make this shift into leadership and accept the call to be champions of change through their leadership, and I ignite them to lead like a champion. I know that's a lot, but it's a process because it is essential that you step into and answer the calling to leadership, whatever that looks like for you, whether it be through any various positions that are available in your school or in your district, whether it be through ed consulting or edupreneurship, whatever the case may be, you need to step into leadership. And leading is a calling, not just a career choice. Yes, we make the career choices because we want to make change. We want to rebuild the education system, make it healthy for students as well as other educators. But you have to recognize it's a calling because challenges come with it. And the only way you can endure those challenges is when you know you are called to the position. And so remember to like, share, and comment and save this video that you know will be beneficial to anyone who's in leadership or aspiring to leadership or fits any of the other categories that I talked about. All right, so today we are talking about seeing and being the solution. Last week I talked about how we had to recognize there's a changing of the guard and how with people resigning and leaving their positions, there are now available positions for people to step into, bringing fresh perspectives and fresh ideas to education. And so one of the things that I recognize is with this changing of the guard, we have to be able to see the solution and then embody it and be the solution. Because I know people are talking about, educators leaving and teachers quitting and superintendents quitting and all of these things, but we also have to understand that there's an opportunity for us to see the solution and be the solution as we are stepping into these new places and new positions that are available for us. So here we go. Let's jump into it. So we're talking about seeing and being the solution. Now, one thing I want you to remember, the recent survey results indicated that the 90% of the teachers are battling burnout. They are seriously considering quitting. We know that's not a surprise, but we know the survey results just proved it. We also know that there has been increased expressions of aggressive behavior, not just from students, but also from parents. There have been things going on at board meetings and other situations where we are dealing with aggression from parents because of misplaced anger and frustration and just really responding to the trauma of not only just the pandemic but of how the school system has been. And so we understand that that's happening, and not just with adults in the building but as well as outside the building. We know that at various levels in our schools and districts, people are leaving. Superintendents are resigning. Principals are resigning. Board members are quitting. Teachers are quitting. Bus drivers, shortages, and whatever the case may be. Now, some of that is due to laws that are being passed that are unrealistic, but some of it is just simply because of being burned out and tired. Now, I always say that I have been saying that if it's your time to leave and shift and step into something different, then you have to make the decision that's best for you. But if it's not your time to leave, if you're just frustrated and dissatisfied and have discontentment, you need to check yourself to see, is this discontentment a catalyst for me to step into a greater place of influence to ignite change? Because sometimes the discontentment means you need to help change and rebuild the system versus leaving. While yes, leaving may be easier, but it won't be as fulfilling for you on the inside as well as it won't have the impact that you desire to make. Now, I know Maslow's needs, and I know we talk about this in education, where safety, security, and provision, and all of those things are foundational before you can think about fulfillment of purpose and all of that. But I'm going to tell you that I'm of the perspective that when you fulfill purpose, which is at the top of the pyramid, that you will automatically cause those other things to line up and be in alignment, because your income, your safety, your security, your belonging, your love, the loving relationships from Maslow's hierarchy of needs, all of that comes out of you being in the right place at the right time and being in alignment. And so I want you to just be cautious and be careful, because don't allow the movement of people in their different situations, their desires to quit, influence you to move out of your position when you could be the one that's there to help spark change. So remember, last week I asked, could you be the one as this changing of the guard is happening? And so here's the thing. I believe that many people are being called and are strategically shifting into new positions, meaning that some people who have wanted a position for a while but didn't get it, I believe now is their time. I believe other people are coming into the profession, getting these positions. I believe there are people who are in the position who are not leaving but are getting fresh perspectives. I believe that more people are coming, and even though there are people leaving, but I also believe more people are coming. And those who are staying are stepping into a new place as educators and recognize things have to change right now, and that they have an integral part to play in being and seeing that change occur. I believe that there's a stirring for change in education, and I believe that you can be a part of that if you're feeling that stirring. And so check this, in the middle of what appears to be chaos is opportunity. In the middle of what appears to be chaos with everything that's going on is an opportunity. And before we can be the solution, we must first see the solution. Now, I know I talked about seeing and being the solution, but before you can be it, you have to see it. You can't embody something that we don't see, that we're unable to perceive. So when I'm talking about seeing, I'm talking about our perception and our perspective, because seeing the solution is all about the perspective we have while we are analyzing and facing the challenge. It is our perspective, because as you know, there can be multiple people in a setting. We can see the same thing, but all see it differently. We can have different perspectives, see different aspects, see different details, and have different viewpoints. While these different viewpoints can be used for our advantage, we have to make sure that how we see is still clear and is still positive. Do we just see the challenges as too much, or do we see our ability to find a solution greater than the challenge? Do we see this challenge as overwhelming, or do we see our ability to overwhelm the challenge? Okay, so I'm going to ask the question, how? How are we seeing what we are seeing? And so I want that to be a question that you always ask yourself as you are looking at challenges and as you're reflecting and thinking about being the solution and seeing the solution. Ask yourself, how am I seeing what am I seeing? Just like when you're driving and the mirror says objects in mirror are closer than they appear, meaning what you're seeing is accurate, but how you're seeing could be slightly different. So ask yourself, am I seeing this accurately? Am I viewing this challenge accurately in light of the type of leader that I am, the type of leader I want to become, how I want to serve the students and the teachers that I am leading? Am I seeing this accurately? And then I want you to I want to share with you this, that once you see the challenge with the right eyes, then the solution can be discovered. Now, I'm not saying the solution is going to be discovered easily, but it can be discovered when you see it with the right eyes. A lot of times we can't discover the solution or find the answers that we're looking for simply because we may be looking at it wrong. But once we see the solution through the right perspective, we can discover or see the challenge, I'm sorry, through the right perspective. Then we can discover and see the solution. And once we see the solution, or once the solution is discovered, we can then be it, we can embody it. Because embodying it means that we allow ourselves to not just talk about it, but we can demonstrate it and we can live that solution. Because check this, once you embody the solution that you have found, you can then cast vision for it with passion and then create strategy to make it happen. I'll say it again. Once you embody the solution that you have found, you can cast vision for it with passion and then create strategy to make it happen. See, the thing is, some people might not see the solution and you can't get frustrated with them because they don't see it. Maybe they just don't see it simply because they didn't have the right perspective or the eyes to see it. But because you have the perspective to see it, then that means you are the one that can clearly ignite and institute the change that the solution will bring. So you saw it, you can ignite it, you can cast vision for it, you can stir people's hope in it, and then you can get your team together, get a team of people together as you're casting vision for this solution and create strategy. See, hope is about not just a positive expectation, it's also about strategy. But you can't have a strategy to solve a problem without seeing the solution. And you can't see the solution without seeing the challenge with the right perspective. So I hope you guys are seeing how all of this relates. And then once you embody it, you cast vision, you create strategy, you ignite hope. Now remember, hope is a positive expectation of things happening and turning out for your good, the school's good, and other people's good. But hope also involves strategy. The psychology of hope defines it as all of those things I just said, but they also include strategy to make the expectation your reality. And so that's why you hear me talk about when we lead as leaders, we have to lead from a place of hope and engage in what I call hope-based leadership. And now you might be like, what's hope-based leadership? Hope-based leadership is this. It is a solutions-oriented leadership approach that aligns positive expectations with your strategy and executable actions and words. I'll say that one more time. Hope-based leadership is a leadership approach that you embody that is solutions-oriented, aligns positive expectations with your strategy, executable actions, and your words. Meaning that as a person, as a leader, a person of influence, you are leading from the place of being solutions oriented, meaning you're going to solve a problem. You're going to discover the solution to every issue. You and the team and the people you serve, you're going to align your positive expectation, meaning you expect a positive outcome. You're going to align that with a clear strategy with executable action steps, not just a strategy you talk about in every meeting and talking about the same thing over and over and getting trapped in what I call the endless meeting cycle, meaning you meet, you create the strategy, you execute, and then the next meeting you talk about how that execution is going and make adjustments if you need it. And then you align your strategy, your action steps with the language that you are speaking, meaning that everybody is saying the same thing. We're not spending all of our time talking about the problem, but we spend more of our time discussing the solution from a positive framework, because we understand the brain science behind speaking positively creates the it releases the right chemicals in our brains, and speaking negatively kills brain cells, and which is backed by science. And so we understand the brain science behind it and the psychology of hope. When you speak affirmations and speak positive things, it positively impacts your performance and increases overall happiness. And so when you align your strategy with these words, with the action steps, you get people who are generally more happy. They have a greater expectation. Then they begin to perform better. And then as they are executing from that place, you see the results. A lot of times we don't see results from strategy because our words don't align with the strategy or with the expectation. And so that's why I teach and I encourage people to have hope based leadership. And I know you've heard of other leadership styles like servant leadership and transactional and transformational and all of that, but I'm going to tell you, those leadership styles are not really styles, they are strategies. And so once you recognize I can lead, I can have hope based leadership and employ these other things as strategies, I can be more successful influencing and connecting with people, igniting change, and being that champion of change that the teachers need that I serve, and the students need, and the parents need. And that's what it's all about. And so remember, you always want to lead from a place of hope. You want to be the solution. You want to adjust your perspective so you can see the challenge from the right perspective, so then you can see the solution, then you can embody the solution and be it, and then lead from a place of hope. And so that's what I have for you today. So I want to ask you this. I want to challenge you. What are your takeaways from today? Put them in a chat or send me a DM. Let me know what your takeaways are, and let me know how you're going to apply what you have heard today. In this 18 minutes that we've been together, tell me how you're going to apply, because when I go live, I do it for the sake of adding value to you so you can have something that you can apply to how you are leading, and that you can put into practice in your leadership position. And if you haven't obtained the position, I'm going to tell you that you are already in a leadership position because you're a person of influence. So in the position you are in, how are you going to apply what I just learned, what I just shared, and what you just learned? Okay, so put that in the chat. Now, also, I want to give you one more invitation. If you want to go deeper into this concept on how to lead from a place of hope, how to ignite hope in your culture, how to be that champion of change, and build or rebuild a system in education that serves and meets the needs of the students and serves and meets the needs of the teachers, I want to invite you to step into your next place of destiny by being an EDU igniter. I want you to be an igniter of change, an igniter of leaders, just like I have made the decision to be an igniter of champion leaders. And so you could do that by working with me and going deeper into this content, where I can mentor you and serve as a consultant to help you apply and learn and grow and make change and positive impact in the school district that you're serving and with the people that you're serving. And here's how you can do that. You can take advantage of working with me, getting personalized coaching from me by going to jamalmaxim.org/strategy session to get more information. That's all you have to do. Because when we get together, I'm going to help you, and I'll share with you what it takes and what you would need to do to become and to step fully and to accept the invitation of being an education igniter. how to ignite your leadership, how to ignite your passion, how to ignite hope, and how you in turn can ignite hope, passion, and joy in the schools that you serve, in the district that you serve, and be that champion of change that you are and that your students and teachers need you to be. So go to jamalmaxim.org/strategy session, get on my calendar, and we could talk about what that would look like. Or whatever platform you're watching this on, you can send me a DM and DM me the word ignite. And we will set up a time to talk and talk about how we can ignite change in your district and in your school, and how you can step into and accept the call and invitation to have a greater level of influence. And I'll teach you how to lead from a place of hope, how to use hope-based leadership in your leadership style. All right, so that's it for this week. Join me next week for the next edition of the Principal's Office. Also, for all of you that are on Clubhouse, check me out in the Igniting Champion Leaders Club. In about 15 minutes, we will have a live interactive discussion all about how we can see and be the solution to these challenges we are facing in education. It may look chaotic, but we have an opportunity. And I'm just going to ask you, why are you waiting? Why are you waiting to be an igniter? Because your school, your district are actually waiting on you, because you have the answer. All right, so I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.